Hey, what's up guys? Long time no see. Welcome back to some more videos, and today I'm going to be doing a bit of a different video. I don't really usually do these type of videos unless it's, with gameplay behind and it's if I really like a game, but there's not going to be gameplay, there's not going to be anything like that. It's just going to be me literally just rambling on, and just discussing my feelings on a game called Samurai Shodown that just barely came out. You're probably familiar with it. I uploaded couple videos on it already, but for the most part I'm just going to be expressing my feelings and impressions on the game essentially. And I also wanted to kind of explain what I tweeted yesterday. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, you should, but if you don't, let me explain what exactly happened. So yesterday I tweeted out a tweet basically saying that I am not a big fan of Samurai Shodown, and I really, to be honest, just to kind of explain the tweet a little bit, I've never really played a fighting game that I dislike. I usually, when I play a fighting game, I'm like, okay, this fighting game is pretty cool. I can see the appeal and such. And for the most part, that still holds true to Samurai Shodown. But I never ever actually felt like a feeling of I straight up don't want to play this game at all. So I never actually felt that, and this is kind of a first for me. So pardon me if I don't necessarily get all my facts correct. It's more of a feeling and me trying to convey a feeling to you guys in video format. Also, I'll try my best to see if I can express that feeling out in words. So first and foremost, I'll try to break this down into 3 different sections. Okay. Essentially what I'm going to be explaining and doing my impressions of Samurai Shodown is, of course, I don't like Samurai Shodown. I really don't. I didn't think that I would not like it, but I just don't for some reason, and I'll explain why. First thing I wanted to talk about was, of course, the fact that even though I do not like this fighting game, that should persuade or influence you guys to not like it as well. You guys should buy out the game. If you guys want to, buy the game and form your own opinion if it interests you. If it doesn't interest you, then don't buy it. That's just the simple matter of the fact. Me, it looked interesting at first. I saw a character that I really wanted to play. I played the character, I played the game, and I ended up not liking it. So I don't want to influence anybody to not buy this game. I would encourage you to buy the game if you guys are interested and form your own opinions. Okay? That's number 1. Number 2, all right? Just because I don't like this game, that doesn't mean it's bad, all right? It's a very good game. I still think Samurai Shodown is a beautiful game. Having a Street Fighter 4 like shaded painting oriental look to it, and I really like it. Plus the soundtrack is ridiculous. It's so freaking good. Character select screen is amazing, trailer music's amazing, themes are amazing, and I really like the oriental music in the background in stages and when you play a match. So I do like a few things, but one thing's for sure that I do not like is the gameplay. I just am not a huge fan of it, and let me explain why I don't like the gameplay for Samurai Shodown, or why I do not like Samurai Shodown. So I know that there is like a patch coming out kind of improving a few things, and SNK does a beautiful job reaching out to the community and actually delivering, which I am super jealous of, because as an Arc System fan and as a Capcom fan and as a fan of those type of fighting games, I wish and I beg for developers that listen to their communities and they deliver as well as SNK can. So I'm jealous of that, by the way. So anyways, nonetheless, the gameplay right now it's not what I expected it to be. And it's not, a lot of people are probably going to say it's not combo oriented. It's because I play combo oriented games, and that's that. That's not necessarily true. I do like combos, yes, granted, but it's the reason why I don't like Samurai Shodown is not because of combos. It's because of one particular thing: movements. Movement in Samurai Shodown is incredibly clunky, in my opinion. Just though I know that you're supposed to move back and forth and pace and be slow and kind of think about what you do before you do it, type of thing, of course. But what that results in my style of gameplay is that results in just, I don't know, I just like to move in my fighting games, if that makes sense. Every fighting game I play, there's some form of movement, that I really enjoy. BB tag is very free flow. There's jumping everywhere. I think that's an example of too much movement. I think games like, you know, Under Night is a perfect example of what I love. I love to dash block. I love to move around. I love to I think it's a perfect example of what I like. Blaze Blue, I think that's a perfect example of the epitome of what I like. Of course, the burying, the jumping, the super jumping, the double jumping, the run up, the dashing, the micro dashing. I love Blaze Blue movement. It's so freestyle. It's so great. And another game that kind of, I had this feeling at the beginning, but then it kind of subsided after a bit, was Grand Blue. Grand Blue also had an issue with movement, and I was about to be like, oh, I don't like this. But once I started to figure out that there's different mechanics that accommodate your movements, like rolling, like spot dodging and such, then things became a little bit better. And I still think that they should be able to touch up on some of the movement options in Grand Blue, like a faster walk speed I think would be great in Grand Blue. But in Samurai Shodown, I just feel like it's so slow and it's so clunky to me. And you know, it might not be clunky to others, but it's clunky to me, and I don't necessarily like it. I really don't. I just feel like I can't do much. I can't move it or anything. It feels like I'm trapped inside of a box. I know I have to rely on buttons, long-reaching buttons, especially with when you're playing a character like Haomaru or Galford or any one of those characters that have long-reaching normals or have things to zone and such. And I play Charlotte, which is, you know, a character with big pokes and projectiles and stuff, but I still feel like I just can't move. I really can't. It's just so restricting, and I have to move. I have to do things because that results in a lot of freestyle and a lot of really cool, fun gameplay mechanics. You can have the simplest mechanics in a game, but still and have the most freestyle movements, and I'll play that game no matter how simple a game is. As long as you have some really cool movement options and such, I'm gonna play it. The second thing I wanted to talk about was the animations, or more so the recovery and the startup frames and the risk reward towards throwing out a specific button or a specific special move. So for sure, I want to get something on the record, okay? Put something on there just so I can tell you guys that the animations for this game I find like astonishing, and it's so much fun to watch because the animations for this game, like for example, you take a look at a character like Haomaru or Genjiro, and you see like the slashes and such, and they feel like they have a lot of impact, and it actually feels like an authentic sprite or an authentic animation of a real samurai, which is really cool. And I can like props to the developers for having this authentic oriental feeling of these animations and also having like the impact behind it. I can really appreciate that. However, there's something about the how slow and sluggish the animations are that really bother me, and I can't put my finger on it, but just take my word for it. If I were to put a comparison as to what I feel like a spacing neutral heavy game would feel like in my eyes, would be like my preference for that type of game is a game called Koihime Enbu, and I played this game at Evo. Shout out to Lucy, by the way. And I played the game and it felt really clean and it felt really nice, and not just okay. I'm not liking the game over Samurai Shodown because of it's a waifu fighter or because it's anime, but I like it just because they really put the mechanics of that game, and they very well implemented the mechanics and how you're supposed to attack and how you're supposed to defend and what you're supposed to do. I feel like I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing in Samurai Shodown, but the animations, the recovery, the sluggishness, it's just too much for me. I can't. It's funny to say I can't keep up, but I can't really get used to it. I've put in quite a few hours into the game already since I received it. I put in about like a couple hours. I definitely played like more than 4 hours. I've definitely played like 20-25 hours into the game already, and from what I am looking at and from what I am trying to, you know, I'm trying to get used to the actual game, and I just can't, man. I really can't. The animations, the movements, the recovery, just everything there. And I know that you're supposed to, you know, whiff punish specific moves and such, but I feel like in this game, in Samurai Shodown, it's more or less like whiff punishing, even though there's a lot of whiff punishing. There's a lot of recovery, so there's a lot of opportunities to whiff punish. But it's more so like, I don't know, it's really weird. I feel like there's some moves with more pride. You know what it feels like to me? It feels like if Street Fighter V had no combos and the crush counters were literally like beating, you know how like crush counters were like out prioritized freaking everything back in the day and people were getting real pissed off at that. I feel like that's what Samurai Shodown's gameplay feels like to me, at least. It's really weird to say or put it into words, but I'm not a huge fan of the neutral game or the spacing or the footsies of Samurai Shodown. I'd much prefer a cleaner, faster paced, like Koihime Enbu, which is the game that I'm kind of comparing it to right now. Even a game like, you know, Grand Blue, which is really, really cool. I really like the feel of Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, just because the neutral in that game feels really nice. And there is, you know, whiff punish tools that are really, really fun to do. In this game, I feel like I'm more fearing for my life than I'm trying to like whiff punish something. Like, I feel like in Samurai Shodown, I'm not looking for a hit. I'm just looking to save my ass, you know? I'm just trying not to die, basically, which can be fun in a way. But when it comes to me actually taking the initiative, that's when things get kind of like real messed up in my head. And I just can't grasp it. I just can't. I try to, and mostly specific games that I cannot grasp, I try to stick to them until I do grasp them. But Samurai Shodown is a game that I do not want to grasp. I really don't. And I don't have the passion or the motivation to be able to do it. I've done it with Tekken. I've done it with Mortal Kombat. I love those games. Those games are great. Samurai Shodown is a game that and even a game like, you know, Grand Blue or other games that I'm probably missing that I've played, that I just couldn't get my head around it. And I couldn't grasp, but I did in the end. But Samurai Shodown is that one game that I just can't do it, man. I really can't. Last but not least, it's Shiki. You know, I originally wanted to play Samurai Shodown just for Shiki, and I don't know. I feel I like I said, I can't get my head around the game, but from what I've played of her, I don't think she's good. I really don't. I think she's really bad, actually. In a game where people do like an outrageous amount of damage, have long range moves, have projectiles, have different tools to be able to, you know, do neutral things. But Shiki, I just feel like I can't get a hold on it. I just can't. And I don't know what exactly it is, but I feel like Shiki just got the short end of the stick in terms of everything I know about fighting games. Like, if you want a good tool to punish, she's got one, but in the end, it kind of gets blown up as well by explosion. If you don't know what I mean, if she does her quarter circle forward special move, you can actually like explode in between, and you can kind of build mind games around there as the Shiki player. But overall, I feel like that's really bad. That's really, really bad. If anything, if you're gonna explode there, what I would do to fix it is when you explode in between her doing, you know, her slash into her flip, what I would do is just make it so the explosion hits Shiki, so she doesn't go flying up, and then when she comes down, she's in recovery and they Isen right away. I hate that so much. Plus, the game plan, the neutral game with Shiki, is just so awkward, and her teleport I don't think is very good, just because it has, I mean, if it's a game that's not, you know, teleports aren't really great, but I just feel like teleports, like the way I was using teleports, the way I always use teleports, I always used it as a tool for annoyance, and you can't do that in this game, and it kind of hinders my fun factor, because I can't do fun things with teleport, or I can't do fun things with anything else really that has to do with Shiki. So I feel like she's not the greatest character, but like I said, I could be wrong. She could be top tier. I was just using her incorrectly, and that's probably the best case scenario in this scenario. But as of right now, I'm not a fan of Shiki's gameplay, which is a real shame, because if she was fun If I really liked her, I would have probably stuck with the game and probably done that. But Charlotte, I had a good run with her. She was really fun. I would have liked to play somebody like Genjiro, just because, like I said, that dude has impact. Just the cards that don't. And that brings me to my last point, which is I'm still gonna be playing. I'm not gonna be playing anymore, by the way. So the content you're gonna be seeing from me is not gonna be with Samurai Shodown, unfortunately. So what I would do is I'm gonna connect you guys to other content creators that are good, or they have Samurai Shodown in their content and they're focusing on that and they really enjoy it. I'm gonna be linking some of those in the description down below. I found a few of them and I'm gonna be linking some, so if you guys want to see some Samurai Shodown, I would, but I'm still gonna be watching the game. So that's my last point. I don't like the game playing it, but I love watching it, just because I love some of the characters in this game, just because they're so funny. I love Puppy. I love Genjiro's like cards. That's like one of my favorite things ever. If I do see a Shiki and they start performing things that I didn't know was possible, I'm gonna enjoy that. But in terms of playing it, I don't have the fortitude or the passion to be able to continue on playing Samurai Shodown. And I hope you guys can understand that. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. I hope I did somewhat of a good job kind of expressing my impressions of Samurai Shodown, these feelings that I have, you know, with Samurai Shodown out in words, and for you guys to kind of understand where I'm coming from. If not, then don't worry about it. You can dislike the video, call me a chump, and get out of here. But for the most part, that's pretty much my feelings on Samurai Shodown right now. Like I said before, do not let my impressions or my thoughts persuade you in any way for not playing Samurai Shodown just because I don't like it. Try it out for yourself. Anyways, that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you guys will understand, and I'll be back with playing my weeb fighting games and possibly Mortal Kombat, because and Tekken, because I've been dying to play Tekken. Anyways, take it easy, everybody. Have a good day.